How's it going, Ding Dongs? Welcome back to another episode of Ding Dong Drift. You guys saw front wide body is complete. Everything fits, everything's good to go. The whole front of the car is basically done. However, the rear of the car is not even close yet. So if you guys saw the FDF Mantis kit installation video, in that video, I was supposed to install the rear suspension, but my subframe took forever to come in. I never finished that video basically. And it was already too long, so I kind of just ended it there. So obviously all the rear suspension is installed now. I didn't film it, I'm sorry, but it's just, you know, it's like anything else, just unbolting stuff and bolting it on. However, I do want to show you guys the subframe because it looks amazing. Oh, there we go. There it is. Pretty freaking gorgeous. I got a shout out who did this. Finally found a powder coater that wasn't just like, I don't know. So if you guys watched the Mantis kit video, you'll see that the first powder coat guy that did the subframe did such a terrible job that the whole subframe was just peeling off. I could literally power wash the powder coat off. So I found SB Powder House. That's like snowboard powder house. They're in Naperville. Daniel did an awesome job, as you can see. Got everything stripped down to bare metal and got it powder coated. And I don't know if you can see with a gold flake. It's hard to tell, especially right now in the dark. During the day, it looks pretty sick. Now we can see the full FDF suspension is installed. Everything is in. However, if we look at the tie rods, you see they're like really extended. And the wheels are still towed in. I don't know why, but for some reason, the arms that FDF sent me, or the tow arms that FDF sent me, are too short. I don't know if it's my car, I don't know if I mean, obviously FDF made this off of an SC. I don't know, maybe an SC400 is different, or yeah, I don't know what's going on, but luckily, the guys at FDF are absolute legends and sent me out these longer bodies. These are 8.5 inches. The ones on the car right now are 7.25. These should definitely take up all the space, and I should be able to even put the eccentric in the center. I don't know if you saw, but right now the eccentric is to the furthest out position. I just want to give a huge shout out to Dylan S2K on Instagram. He works at FDF. I think he's the machine guy. And he helped me out with this. Absolute legend. Walked me through this, everything I needed to do. Sent him a bunch of pictures. He found these arms for me in stock. They didn't have to machine custom arms or anything. All right, I got the wheel off. Now we can get a better look at all the beautiful FDF suspension. So we got the upper control arm, which is easily adjustable right here. You can increase camber or decrease camber just by loosening this nut from underneath right here, which I still have to tighten because, yeah. And then you just put a nice big hex in here and push it in to add camber. Screw it in to add camber or unscrew it to remove camber. You can also use the Heim right here. You can loosen this nut, same as the front, loosen the nut, take this bolt off, extend it, shorten it, whatever you want to do. The lower control arm is also, I've had the lower control arm on my car for a while now. It's been great, no issues, super easy to adjust. Loosen those two nuts and then spin the center one in and out. And then we have the beefy traction link. So this will change the position of the whole suspension forward and back, which will either increase or decrease anti-squat. I just made them the same length as stock for now because I have no idea how that works. So I need to do some research. I need to get some suspension books. And then lastly, we have the tie rod right here. So this is what I'm replacing, just this body right here. All right, so I got the Heims swapped over to the new arms, collapsed them completely to the shortest end, and they are now basically the exact same length as stock arms. I've been talking to FDF. I think they should switch to the 8.5. I don't know if my car is an outlier or if people have just been running them extended. I'm just assuming that's fine. It was sketching me out. I wanted it to be more like this. So let's get this back on the car and then we'll do a little alignment. While I'm in here, I'm also gonna tighten up these little hex bolts that lock this from spinning. All right, the whole suspension's all back together. Got the wheels back on. Eyeballed the toe. Looks pretty good, but I'm gonna align it right now. I just need to set the car back down on the ground. It's looking pretty good. This side looks like I'm gonna have to add a little bit more camber. It's looking a little positive still. And this side, I think I'm gonna have to take some camber out, but I gotta see how it's gonna fit. There's not gonna be much space, quarter panel in the wheel. All right, so I got the camber dialed in. It's a little wonky right now. Let me just go through it. This side, the toe arm is in the center eccentric position, and it is in its shortest length. And as you can see, it's slightly towed in, which is perfect because that means I can adjust it. However, on this side, I had to mess with a lot of stuff. First of all, had to compress the lower arm, and the toe arm was too long and I had toe out, which means I couldn't adjust it. So I put the toe arm, can you see it through the lower arm there? Put the toe arm in the furthest eccentric position. So now it is towed in, so I have adjustment on the arm. But because of that, I had to shorten the lower arm, which then increased the camber. So I had to extend the upper arm to decrease the camber, but then the wheel was rubbing on the fender. I'm at 0.8 degrees of camber right now, and this side is at like 0.2, so this side's better. But I think I got it just close enough for now. So once the wide body goes on, I'm gonna have infinite adjustment. None of this is gonna matter. So this is literally just temporary, just to make it to the show, back, and then the whole quarter panel is gonna get chopped off. You can see I got about an inch of toe in with my awesome $20 alignment rack. So that side's at 75, this side's at 74, and I can see that. Like you can clearly see that is really towed in. This side is a little bit towed in. So I'm gonna extend that toe arm more, extend this one a little bit less. So if you're wondering why I did zero toe, it is because previously, I don't know if you guys watched the video where Jimmy Oaks drove my car, he said the car had very little lateral grip or sideways grip. So when you're in a drift and you're trying to slow down, the rear end just keeps sliding and it just does not slow down. I also didn't have a handbrake. I do now, so it should be a lot easier to slow down. But the car had very strong forward grip, and I noticed that myself. If I stayed on the throttle, going around that big turn, trying to slow down, and I did a little bit of left foot braking, if I stayed on the throttle, the rear would stay gripped up and the car would not spin out. But if I let go of the throttle, the whole rear end would just wash out. I'm hoping that, I think I might have had a little bit too much toe in. I'm hoping that zeroing the toe will help with the sideways grip on the car. I'm gonna tighten everything up, double check all the bolts. Then I gotta fix my exhaust hangers. I let these soak in rust remover for about a week because they were completely rusted over. And, well, these are not the exhaust hangers, these are the toe brackets or whatever they're called. The exhaust hangers used to be bolted to these, but they completely disintegrated. One side had a little rod welded on, but it was just garbage and disgusting. I think it was this side because you see I grinded that down a bunch. And the other one just still had the original bracket, but it completely disintegrated and fell apart. So I gotta weld new exhaust hangers on because I can't put my mufflers on. The car is loud as shit right now and it kind of sounds like shit. All right, both exhaust hangers are welded up. You can see they're on an angle, so the exhaust doesn't want to slide off. And then, oh, that one's still hot. For some reason, the driver's side, the rubber hanger thingy is bigger. I put a little weld on the end there so it wouldn't just slide off easily, because it was sliding off pretty easily. So I'm gonna let these cool off and then paint them and throw them back on the car. Alrighty, exhaust is back on. Hangers are good. Just painted them black so you can't see them. I did get the exhaust a little crooked though. You can see the left side is a little higher and a little bit more outwards, I think. But whatever. I just hope this one doesn't fall off because it's I think that's it. All that's left is go for a test drive. I'm back at the garage. I've driven the car twice now. Once to Tuner Evo, which you guys saw the video. If you haven't seen that already, go check that out. The Nimbus was a show car for a day, so it's pretty cool. I just went to Mexico and came back, and some things were broken. The car drives amazing. The suspension is incredible. The angle is insane. The rear grip is insane. It now has sideways grip finally. Like I used to just spin out. Tons of grip now. Once the tires warmed up, tons of grip, and the tires are like 35 PSI right now because I gotta get them MPGs. But the thing that broke was the wide body. So it's not completely broken, but this corner here detached. And the reason is, so the wheel hit it right here and pushed all of this like completely bent over, which then caused the metal to move that way and it unglued itself. So that's gonna get fixed when I do the rear wide body because I have the expensive panel bond. So when I do the rear wide body, we're gonna fix the front wide body. I'm gonna do a live stream of designing the front bumper. So make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss that. There will be a live stream where I do most of the design process. I like to just block it out basically and then get the design process going and then fine tune it over a period of time. Even when we were driving the Tuner Evo, my brother was saying how the car felt so much smoother. And I think that's partly because of the front being a wider track, which basically makes the front suspension feel softer. But man, the car feels amazing. And the clunking is gone in the back. Like the car going over bumps and stuff used to clunk and make so many noises. All that is gone. So I'm guessing my ball joints were all shot. So yeah, car feels amazing. It's rubbing a ton in the rear, which is why I'm doing the wide body. It's rubbing a little bit in the front, which is why it broke. But besides that, seriously, absolutely amazing. The only thing now is the shitty coilovers, which absolutely need to be replaced. All I hear is them creaking in the back. Sounds terrible, so that's gonna wrap up this video, ding dongs. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the website for all your 3D printing and merch needs, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace out, ding dongs. Stay sweet.
America. Do you have your passport? Did you get your card?